And we are live, you beautiful and magnificent people. I see Ogata, I see Kohagen, I see Halster, I see everyone. It's time to get started with this new chapter of One Piece. Let's get started, shall we? Yo! Peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to more One Piece. In the last chapter we left out on, we found out that the ruins of an ancient civilization pretty much make up the islands that pepper throughout all of One Piece. That the sea level rose by 200, like over 200 meters. Over 200 meters over the course of a single century, with Vegapunk coming to the hypothesis that it was not a natural disaster, not a natural phenomenon. Otherwise, it would have progressed over several centuries and not just 100 years. Turns out that we find out that it's the cause of the ancient weapons, that the water levels of the world basically just rose over a whole 100 years. Causing what used to be more land masses within the world to be engulfed by the sea, rising by an entire 200 meters. Which, of course, is met with some people mocking it, and it was mainly just the people from Mocktown because they're too stupid to know anything. And then everyone else who was just taken aback by all of this revelation from Vegapunk. The Gorosei are steadily trying to use conquerors in order to knock out every single Denden Mushi they come across in an attempt to cut the transmission off, and Vegapunk still continues talking about Joy Boy and how his faction was so large that all of the 20 kingdoms that make up the that were known as the Alliance, a provisional army by the 20 kingdoms that would later make up the world government, it took all of them together to stop Joy Boy and his entire faction. And the fight ended with Joy Boy's defeat. But the ruins of that is what caused the world of One Piece as we know it to be what it is right now. And apparently the war is still going on because the ancient weapons are still very much out there, which means that the war between Joy Boy and the Alliance, the 20 kingdoms, it's still ongoing. It's not done yet. So let's see what happens in chapter 11:16, because we are not going on break from this chapter. Chapter 11:16, Inner Conflict. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 6. Otsuru gave me medicine and dumplings. And once again, we see just how tall Yamato is as he's standing in front of Otsuru. We got that one, what is his name? I forget, the one sumo that was trying to get Okiku's attention back then. Now he's out here trying to get Yamato's attention. So, yeah. Best of luck, buddy, but, you ain't gonna get nothing from Yamato, I'm just saying that. But then, we cut to, is this Alabasta? This looks like Alabasta. But the townspeople are listening. The townspeople are listening to what Vegapunk is saying, and some people are going, the weapons that sank the world into the sea are still lurking around somewhere? The war from 800 years ago is still ongoing? Where? How could any of them still be alive? And it's odd and it's peculiar how Im-sama is directly in this panel saying, directly when someone says, how could any of them still be alive? And Im-sama walks into a room that has a picture that looks oddly close to Vivi. Maybe I'm being presumptuous, but he walks up. Well, they walk up. We don't know the specific gender, but I'm just saying they walk up to a photo that looks eerily like Vivi. And then the townspeople are still saying, how can this war still be ongoing if no one knows about it? Explain, Vegapunk! And mind you, this is the people of Alabarna. They are screaming this. And then Vegapunk continues in his transmission. Sadly. And then we get Igaram and Karoo as he's looking at these missing posters of Princess Vivi. Of course, we all know where Vivi is. She's with Morgans, but no one else knows that. Sadly, I owe you all my deepest apologies, but I need you to understand why. I wanted to create the energy that would power the industry of the world to come. And it shows Chaka and Pell who we really haven't seen in a hot minute. They're all currently in a memorial service for King Cobra. Actually, not just a memorial service, but they're in his tomb. He's got his photo in the background and his coffin that is directly in front of him. Pell and Shaka are across from it on both sides.
I wanted to create the energy that would power the industry of the world to come. And though it is still incomplete, I have at last reached a practical stage of my life's work. The Mother Flame, a fire that never goes out. It is an energy source that will one day in the future enrich the lives of people all over the world. Unfortunately, one little piece of that flame has been stolen. The fault of this lies entirely with me.
And I wonder, unfortunately, one little piece of that flame has been stolen. Hold up. Wait, who stole the piece of the Mother Flame? Hold up! Who stole the... let's keep going.
Unfortunately, one little piece of that flame has been stolen. The fault of this lies entirely with me.
Cypher Pole's in the center of the island? The flames are too intense, we can't get back there! And this is the Navy, they're still trying to deal with everything that's happening on the Fabrio phase of Egghead. And then we have Stussy.
There's some major shaking going on up here. What happened, Edison?
I'm kinda stunned too! This is crazy! The basement lab of the lava phase and the Cypherpole agents fell down here! And now I can't send more island clouds up to the Straw Hats!
Fell down? What do you mean, fell down?
Because this is the result of Nusjuro basically cutting the lower half of the lava phase clean off and causing it to fall down along with all of the Cypherpole agents and the Seraphim. And mind you, no one was able to fully catch them, so they met a very quick, sudden, a long drop and a sudden stop.
One of those crazy 5 elders is heading your way!
And this is Edison saying this to Stussy.
Please, Stussy, you gotta run!
And then Stussy just closes her eyes. And then Stussy goes,
May I free Kaku, Edison? They might be punished for their actions. I won't let him go after the Straw Hats, and I know the first thing he'll do if he's released.
And then it cuts to Edison, who is still, having a hard time moving as he goes,
I get it, Stussy. I'm sorry for putting you through this. He was a friend, wasn't he? I'm sorry for making you betray that friendship.
And Kaku is listening in, and his eyebrows are all like, what?
But you still went ahead and saved us. I know you wish you could have been true to both. That kind of inner conflict is a calling card of humanity, Stussy. Follow your heart, and do whatever it takes to survive!
And then Stussy, with tears in her eyes, just goes,
I will.
And then Vegapunk continues.
Around 2 weeks after the theft of the flame, the sky over Lelusia shone with a powerful light.
Ain't no way! Ain't no way! Ain't no way! Ain't no way! Vegapunk! Vegapunk! You are not about to explain what happened! Oh! Stop! Stop! There's no... He's about... No, ain't no way. No, ain't no way. Ain't no way he's about to explain it. Bruh!
Around 2 weeks after the theft of the flame, the sky over Lelusia shone with a powerful light.
And we cut to all the commanders and all the Okamas in Kamabaka Queendom right now. All the revolutionaries. And they're going,
Lelusia?
And the kingdom vanished without a trace, according to reports. After that was when I observed the first signs of worldwide earthquakes. As a scientist and with utmost pride in its development, I can tell you this.
That was an ancient weapon?
You mean someone did that to Lelusia?
And remember, this is also the girl that in one of the cover stories was tending to Ace, and also one of the people that was invigorated by Bello Betty's Devil Fruit power when Pinkbeard showed up and tried to, ransack the place. She's here making this statement. Yes, I remember her.
Nothing but the Mother Flame could have created so much energy.
Oh, King Elizabello!
Lelusia is gone? Not to my knowledge, Your Majesty. Well, go and find out.
Yes, sir!
The flame that I created was used to activate an ancient weapon. I know nothing about who might have carried this out, but the results speak for themselves. My actions have led directly or indirectly to the loss of many human lives, a fact that weighs most deeply upon my soul. I am so sorry!
And Vegapunk just bows his head and slams it.
I have inadvertently proven that the man-made disaster that once sank the world is possible again!
And then we cut back to Baltimore. No, Vegapunk, it's not your fault. And then we cut to Momonosuke and Kinemon listening in. What? Does that mean Pluton is?
Shh! Hush, Lord Momonosuke.
And because, Momonosuke is just blurting it out that Pluton is indeed there on Wano. And that also means that, what is his name? Sukiyaki must have explained that Pluton was underneath as well. Unless I forgot the moment where Momonosuke found out. I probably forgot it. Please forgive me if I did. And then it cuts to Vegapunk speaking again, showing an image of Crocodile.
In the past, there were 3 ancient weapons, and Joy Boy attempted to preserve them for the future.
Then we cut to the Ryugu Kingdom. Pardon me.
Why would he do that for such dangerous things? Have we not sunk far enough? Who is the true evil here? And who fights the good fight? The day will come when all of the answers will be laid bare.
You're going to choke yourself, you old fool.
And this is Suru, who's speaking to Sengoku, who's just scarfing down rice crackers after rice crackers, because he's also sweating profusely as well, because Vegapunk is just going all out.
And I warn you, that moment will happen when we reach the very precipice of the world's drowning. The Void Century is still ripe with mystery. However, there are some who have learned the truth.
And then Akainu is in Naval Headquarters. Akainu is in Naval Headquarters and he's getting upset. The dude is so mad that there is literal smoke coming out of his mouth. There's smoke coming out of his mouth. His fist is magma. The whole room is heated up as he goes, "You really going to tell them everything, Vegapunk?"
There are some who have learned the truth. The king of the pirates' crew!
And this is when everyone learns. What? And then it cuts to Laboon and Crocus. Pirates? Why? Why are the secrets of the world in the hands of pirates? We're all in terrible danger! And we cut to the Long Arm tribe, including the 3 individuals that tried to keep Brook under lock and key during the time skip, and his former managers. Then we cut to York, who's listening in.
Hey, wait! That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make sense, Stella. How did you know that I stole the Mother Flame from you? I stopped synchronizing. You couldn't have known. And I know you're terrible at lying and acting. You were truly shocked when you found out.
And then it cuts to when Vegapunk was surprised.
York? Was this all your doing?
You received the information about Lelouja and then observed the data? What does that mean? When? The timeline doesn't add up. Did you know about the government's response?
And then it cuts to Jupiter as he's sucking in all of he's like swallowing all of the Cypherpole agents. They're just getting swallowed into his mouth for reasons unknown. What is he doing?
But if that's the case, I've been wrong all along. He wouldn't do anything as tepid as just hiding the transmission transponder snail. 5 elders! I know where the transponder snail is!
You're certain? And this is Mars saying this.
Absolutely. I'm Vegapunk too, The transmission transponder snail is under the protection of the Iron Giant in the Fabrio phase!
And remember, this Iron Giant... Wow! Okay, so much for it being all the way in Punk Hazard, but now it's under the protection of something that has yet to receive a single scratch from anyone the entire time it's been walking.
It's under the protection of the Iron Giant in the Fabrio phase!
Nothing's working on it! And it's just walking through the flames like it's not even bothered. And it's just walking forward. It's just walking forward, menacingly. Its eyes glowing. And then Vegapunk continues.
When they learned all of the true history, why did they drift apart without telling anyone? Why didn't they act on it?
And then someone goes,
Hey, Ray. You've had too much to drink. It's not like you to be this wiped out.
Ah, I'm just an old man now. And you're telling them too much, Vegapunk. Don't be a fool. Us old folks should keep our secrets.
As Rayleigh, we cut to Shaki and Rayleigh back in Sabaody, and he just puts a drink down as he goes,
Don't rob the youngins of all the fun. Right, Roger?
and he's just passed out from drinking because he's all like, remember, the Straw Hat, Usopp, well, not the Straw Hats, but Usopp tried to ask him what the One Piece was, and he even asked Robin, would you like to know the history of the world? So he gave her the option of like, see the world, and because what you glean from this information may be different depending on how much of the world you've actually seen. So this is Rayleigh once again reiterating that it's for them to find out and not just have it told, even though Vegapunk is steadily going on. And that is the end of the chapter as Vegapunk continues to talk. And it just shows Rayleigh smiling while he's, like heavily drunk, going, don't rob the youngins of all the fun. Right, Roger? Okay. All right. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Are Suru and Sengoku heading to Hachinosu? It's a good question. Let's talk about this, okay? Vegapunk continues to speak, revealing pretty much what happened to Lelouch was not just some accident. People finding out that Lelouch is gone. People who know of Lelouch are now officially finding out that Lelouch is gone now. Elisabello, everyone is finding out about it. And now they come to, and we all get the confirmation that it was indeed an ancient weapon that devastated Lelouch. We just haven't seen it yet. And it's being powered by the Mother Flame, an endless source of energy. However, a piece of it was stolen by York. And as this is going on, everyone is reacting to all this news from Vegapunk. All this news from Vegapunk. Not to mention, we find out where the transmission transponder snail is. It's not on Punk Hazard, even though I thought it would be really cool if it was, because then they have no way to get there quickly enough before the message was over. But we find out that the transponder snail is being protected by the virtually indestructible Iron Giant robot that Flames is doing nothing to, that Cannon Fire is doing nothing to. So it remains to be seen if the Gorosei are strong enough. It makes me wonder if the Gorosei are all strong enough to even put a dent into it. Because if they don't, and if they're not able to bring this thing down at all, then the transmission is going to continue until it's over. The wonderful thing about One Piece is One Piece is a wonderful story. I know it doesn't mesh well with the story, but let me see what you guys have said. Okay, let's see. Oh yes, we go on break. Are we? Are we? Because it says the next chapter is in the next 7 days. Yeah, it says that we're getting a chapter in the next 7 days, unless they're incorrect. I'll keep an eye out. But yeah, Ozzy, good to see you. Ushimaru, thank you. You think that's Lily? It's possibly Lily. Yeah, that's more than likely Lily. Which is why you wanted to get Vivi, because apparently Vivi may look just like Lily. I would not be surprised. So that means Vegapunk didn't give them the Mother Flame. No, he didn't. It was York who stole it. I'm thinking York has something to do with it. It's the most logical I can think of. Sounds about right. Moda. Yeah, that's her name. That's the girl with the polka dot headband. I love how Crocodile's in the next panel. I was just about to make the joke of Crocodile's Pluton senses are tingling. Nico Robin. Where's Pluton? And it's like, it's funny that we get a shot of Crocodile because he was the one looking for. As a matter of fact, it's funny enough. It's actually funny enough that we get a shot of Crocodile as he's as Momonosuke. I believe it was Momonosuke and it was Momonosuke and Kinemon who were talking about Pluton, and then we had the very person who was trying to find Pluton so he could rule over Alabasta in the very next panel. The irony is not lost. Let's see, are Sudo and Sengoku heading to Hachinosu? I mean, if they're going after Garp, I feel like the Blackbeard Pirates may have a problem on their hands, because Sengoku, he's still strong. He may have gotten a little bit older. His hair may be white now, but he's still strong. And I don't know how strong Sudo is, because anytime we saw her fighting, it was the aftermath of the fight, and the pirates that she was wringing out were already, flowing in the wind. So we've never actually seen her go hand to hand with anyone. But considering that Sudo, Sengoku, and Fujitora stood up against Jack, and Jack got manhandled by them, I'd imagine that Sudo is up there in terms of strength. Elders versus Ancient Robot, let's go. Why did Joe Boy have all 3 of the ancient weapons? That's a very good question, isn't it? Because one of the ancient weapons is technically a living being. On Manga Plus, it says that the next chapter is on the 16th. Well, y'all know me. Until I see confirmation, I am not going to make a stream. Y'all know I tend to make a stream the Saturday before. So if we're going on break, then hey, that's fine. That's fine. I won't have to worry about making a stream for it this upcoming Saturday. But one of the things about the ancient weapons is that one of them is actually a living being. Currently, Poseidon is Shirahoshi. And then we have Pluton, which is buried underneath Wano, sealed there unless they break the borders around Wano to release it. And then, of course, we also have, I believe it's called Uranus as well. And that is where a lot of people, including myself a little bit, believe that is the very same structure that destroyed Lelusia with all those Death Star lasers. So those are the current 3 weapons right now. Makes you wonder who was the Poseidon in the past for Joy Boy to have not only that person, but also the other ancient weapons as well. Like, what was he doing with them? Because there's so much we still don't know. Here's the thing, Vegapunk is releasing and revealing so much right now, and yet when we think about it, we still know nothing. That is crazy to me. I know it says he was going to preserve it for the future, but I can't help but wonder why. And remember, when we first met Vegapunk, he was by the giant robot? Yeah. I didn't think the Den Mushi was on Punk Hazard specifically. I was thinking it was on another island. On Manga, I thought it would be the Alliance that used the ancient weapons, but it's not looking that way unless they managed to steal 2 of them, or 3, depending on whether the person who was Poseidon was like. Yeah, man, okay. All right, so Oda is out here just giving us more information, and yet we still know nothing. We're getting the reactions from everyone. I mean, Akainu's getting upset. He's all like, are you going to tell them everything? Like, even Vegapunk, but the thing about Vegapunk, which I really like, is his humanity. Even though he's like this pursuer of science above all else, he's still human. He's hated the fact that he had to wipe Kuma's memories as part of a condition that Saturn put in place because of something that Saturn orchestrated. And he's also feeling incredibly remorseful, at least he was during this transmission, because Vegapunk is apparently no longer with us. He was incredibly remorseful due to the fact that his Mother Flame, which he was going to use to enrich the lives of everyone throughout the world, was used to destroy an entire country, an entire island full of innocent people. Some of them were rebelling against, like, the kingdom and everything, but everyone else who wasn't taking part of it, they were innocent. And yet all of their lives was just... the vast majority of their lives were just wiped out because Sabo managed to get some people out. Did he say that he got everyone out? I don't think he got everyone out. If he did, then he's fast. But if he didn't, countless lives were lost in Lelusia. And he just feels so remorseful for it. I have inadvertently proven that the man-made disaster that once sank the world is possible again. And I bring this up because I had this theory back in the day, and I say back in the day because it was years ago, when the Lelusia Kingdom was first destroyed. I can't remember the exact year that happened in the manga, but during that year, I was thinking, okay, so if this possible ancient weapon was capable of destroying an entire island, what was keeping the Gorosei from just having multiple islands destroyed over time? And that it just not just Lelusia, but previously throughout the centuries, more and more islands were destroyed, and that would help And that would help the water levels just rise by a whole over 200 meters over the course of one single century. Because imagine all the earthquakes, all the tsunamis, all of the water rising from just island after island being destroyed. So that's what I had, but Oda's just out here making me think about everything. And Vegapunk is only hypothesizing, so we truly don't know what really happened. No, we don't know what really happened. He's only going off of information that he was able to get. So he says he doesn't, he himself said that he doesn't have the full picture. We don't have the full picture. We are only going off of his very, very precise hypothesis on what he's gathered from what little information he was able to get his hand, or from the little bit of information he was able to get his hands on. This makes me more curious about Joy Boy's apology to the mermaid princess. And Vegapunk is only hypothesized. And I don't know if we knew this already, but that all but confirms to me Sengoku, when he was the fleet admiral, learned about stuff from the Void Century, and same can be said for Akainu. I wouldn't be surprised if he knows about it as well. I would not be surprised. But, you know, being the type of individual he is, he's not going to, you know, try and discover anything more because, I mean, frankly, him being fleet admiral right now is so much of a hassle for him. And there's so much red tape, so many things he has to account for as a fleet admiral. I imagine he's not the type of individual that wants a whole bunch of paperwork to deal with or a whole bunch of nonsense coming his way, because given his disposition when he found out the Gorosei pretty much fabricated Doflamingo abdicating his position as a warlord, and he was left out of the loop, I'm pretty sure he does not want to deal with that sort of nonsense going back and forth with the Gorosei, who frankly do not care about him at all. Given his dialogue that initiates he knows this already. Yeah, it's the thing about it that really tells you that Akainu knows more than he's letting on. The Void Century is ripe with mystery. However, there are some who have learned the truth. And it's Akainu who's just like, this is the first time we've seen Akainu steaming mad. The fact that this man's mouth is letting out fumes, volcanic fumes, because it's not just regular smoke. Because, you know, there's like volcanic fumes. He's just literally breathing out fumes from, he's fuming. He's literally fuming. His hands heating up. I think, and did he have like a cigar in his hands? Because is it basically just, yeah, did he have a cigar in his hands? I wouldn't be surprised if he took his cigar and he just ignited it in his hands. And he's also just pushing out all this smoke as well. He's really getting upset from this. Are you really gonna tell them everything, Vegapunk? And then everyone finds out that the Roger pirates learned the true history of the world, which is something that only Rayleigh and the crew knew. No one else knew. Rayleigh and the crew, Oden as well, and now hearing that the Roger pirates learned so much more other than what they thought originally. It's all like, what? Information about the true history of the world was in the hands of pirates? We're all doomed! And I'm like, you're doomed with the world government, because they only see you as insects. Since we know it was Uranos who did it now, the only weapon not accounted for, I'm assuming it's to do with the power source, and I'm guessing the Mother Flame was a very recent development. I believe so. My nose tickles. It feels like it wants to sneeze right now. Pardon me. But Crocus is listening in. Everyone is like going, why are the secrets of the world in the hands of pirates? We're all in terrible danger. Because everyone sees pirates as just like these evil individuals that just want to ransack and destroy everything around them. Also, seriously, what is Jupiter doing? Is he inhaling all of the Cypherpole agents to get them off the island, or what? But then York figures out that the Denden Mushi is under the protection of the Iron Giant, so if they want to stop the transmission, they gotta destroy the Giant. And apparently this thing is incredibly difficult to destroy. So, it should be interesting to see how the Gorosei handle this. You spoke the truth? Wait, what did I say? What did I just say? What did I just say? I was saying a whole bunch of things. I literally just, what part did I speak the truth on? I just missed it. I'm sorry. I'm just immersed into this chapter. And then Rayleigh's all like, don't rob the youngins of all the fun, right, Roger? Don't rob them of the chance to learn about the history of the world for themselves. Don't rob them of learning where they can get to the One Piece or learn about all this and all of that. Don't rob them of the chance to learn. When you sneeze, it means you spoke the truth. It is a joke. Oh, okay. Oh, well, since I haven't been lying, I guess I have been speaking the truth. But this was a good chapter. If we are indeed going on break after this one, then it's fine. It's fine. It's fine if we go on break after this. Learning that the Roger Pirates knew this, and then Rayleigh is the last person we see saying, like, don't go spoiling their fun. Right, Roger? Interesting. Interesting. I like this chapter. I really do. I really do. Now, him talking about what happened to Lelouch, that was one of the bigger moments for me. Yeah, that was one of the bigger moments for me. So, yeah, I like this chapter. Not to mention the little moment with Stussy where Edison is constantly telling her to, you know, like, save herself, get out of here. And even Kaku is there, and he's just listening to this whole conversation with Stussy and Edison. And even he's had, like, furrowed brows, like, maybe not sad brows, but Stussy is... Matter of fact, let me go over to that chapter itself, where that page itself. Yeah. Yes. Telling her that, but you still went ahead and saved us. I know you wish you could have been true to both. That kind of inner conflict is a calling card of humanity, Stussy. Because Stussy sees herself as like, well, if Vegapunk isn't here, I really have no purpose in the world. And Edison is just letting her know that you're human. Just follow your heart. Even though you're because we all know she's a clone of a former member of the Rocks Pirates, you know, Buckingham Stussy. But if Edison's all like, follow your heart and do whatever it takes to survive. And she goes, I will, and then it just cuts back to Vegapunk explaining everything, and we see everyone. Well, yeah, I'm rambling again. Don't rob them of the chance to learn. After all, they can actually do something about it. See, here's the thing. Ravi, good to see you. I do like Stussy considers Kaku as a friend. Yeah, it humanizes Stussy even more than she considers herself human herself. But, like I said with Ozzy here, don't rob them of the chance to learn. After all, they can actually do something about it. Because the words of Rayleigh was, like, it's like we were pirates, we weren't scholars, it's not like we could do anything about the information we learned. But now we have a newer generation that I want to say is far more capable of great change in the world than the Roger Pirates. So with this information, stuff can actually be done. See, with Roger and company, they were just living free. That's it. And with Luffy and company, they're living free, but they actually have a much greater chance of making a difference in the world, given just how capable every single one of their members, their crew members are. So, enough time has passed where they are actually capable of doing something with this information now. They couldn't do it when they first got to Sabaody and they all got separated by Kuma, who himself saw that they were going to be what was necessary to save the world in the future. Kuma knew! My God, I love Kuma. He's such a great character. But now they're in a place where they are strong enough to actually make a difference and actually do something with that knowledge. And I think a callback, Oda calling back to basically that moment where they're at that strength now, where they can actually make a difference now. I like how Oda has gone back to that and just brought us back to Sabaody, down to that very moment where Rayleigh was trying to say, like, it's not like we could really do anything with this information, but you figure it out for yourselves. You guys learn for yourselves. So yeah, I'm glad we're in this position. But that's all I got for this reaction. We got My Hero. Oh, My Hero. I can't wait to read My Hero. I do like Stussy considers Kaku as a friend, and it's not just a case of her never caring about them at all the whole time. No, she actually cares about them, but she was also conflicted about either, continuing to be friends and siding with CP0 or siding with Vegapunk and the rest of the satellites due to her, connection to both. That sort of conflict, like Edison said, humanizes her even more than she realizes for herself. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this reaction. We got My Hero right after this, and I can't wait to read that. And then I'm gonna rest up before family gets here with some food. But you've been a wonderful audience. We are in June. I'm going to make a video update for what's going to be happening for the channel going into the future. And I really look forward to, like doing so much more for all of you guys throughout this month. And, entertaining more and more people as we get closer and closer to not only 4,900 subscribers, but also 5,000 subscribers. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. We're not going back. We just keep progressing forward. But I just want to say, all of you, whether you're new here or you've been here for a minute, you are all such wonderful people to entertain. And I always love doing what I do for all of you because, I mean, you guys like it. You guys haven't told me you guys hate what I do, so I feel like I'm doing pretty all right. I want my One Piece. I want my One Piece. Don't worry, Ozzy. Don't worry. Just hold on. Just hold on just a little bit longer. But you are such wonderful people to entertain. Thank you to all my moderators. Thank you to all my members. Thank you, everyone, for doing what you do for me so that I can keep going because I just love doing this. And I look forward to the next time I can do that. But for all of you, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples, on to my hero.